对，大家好，让我们现在就开始这个 Let's start the meeting. I try to use English as much as possible, because we have some, a lot of volunteers coming. Thank you for joining. And then, yeah, this is thank you for signing up for the volunteers, and thank you for all the new friends and old friends. And let's still, join the team, and let's work together to have this volunteer work. So this is the fall program kickoff, the first all hands meeting of our Connect&Learning fall program. Let's move on. So this is today's agenda. So first we will, just give an introduction of the organization, then we will describe our fall program, the process, progress, and then we will talk about next steps. At last, we will leave some time for people to, for questions and answer. And also, please feel free to raise up any questions in the chat anytime. So when I have a chance, I will take a look at it and try to explain to answer questions. Or we might have some volunteers that could answer the questions asynchronously, so you don't have to wait. Okay, let's move on. So our organization, so what is Connect&Learning? So why do we name this Connect&Learning? Basically, connection is a bridge that spans a gap between ignorance and knowledge, while learning is the path that we work on it. So we try to build an organization which will help people to connect from all around the world to connect with each other, and then we try to learn from each other through the communications. And this kind of communication is not only one direction, could be mutual directions. So here is our org and vision. So we are nonprofit organizations, and then this organization is hosted lots of volunteering programs, which is run by students and for students. So we connect the young kids from all around the world, and we inspire them to pursue their passions and by stimulating learnings. And we have lots of different learnings, right? Like, for example, developing the leadership, the language learning, the STEM, the AP courses, and fundraising, etc. And then by collecting enough funds, then we try to aid the educations through our volunteer projects. So we try to benefit both local and international communities. So we will talk about the detail later. Again, feel free to raise up your hands or write down your questions in the chat. So we are nonprofit organizations, and at the same time, we are also officially 501c3 organizations, which means that we are tax-exempt nonprofit organizations. So we are able to access the fund, to accept the fund from others, and then however, we cannot make profit. We will donate all the funds to some other community, we need to donate out to some, different departments. So yeah, so this is our EIN or tax ID. At the same time, we are also a PSVA certifying org, which means the PSVA is an abbreviation of the Presidential Service Volunteer Award. So our organizations are eligible to certify PSVA for all the volunteers to thanks for appreciate all the country for your volunteering or effort on this kind of volunteering work. Yeah. So in the summer, so we actually is a pretty new organizations, and then this is our second phase program. Our first phase program is a summer program. It's running in this summer. So here's what we do. So we had running an ESL program with 71 volunteers, and where we pair them with 83 study pairs. And we in totally have 100 interview hours. Guess how many volunteers time we contributed? we have 770 teaching hours. Oh, you know what? This number is not updated. We actually contributed more than 1,200 teaching hours. So we have fundraised this amount of money to the charity organizations in China. So this is our official certificate of participation certificate issued by the China organizations, charity organizations. So we use this money to help the education program in the education for the kids in the rural area of China, many from Sichuan and Guizhou province. We know it's a very relatively rural area there. For the kids are in the middle school. Yeah, many in the middle school and some are high school kids. Okay, so here we talk about what is our fall program. This is second phase program. So as you can see, our program has two lines. One is our program has two lines. One is the line up is the teachers, right? The volunteers sign up, right? We have volunteers sign up, then we group the volunteers by their class and levels, and then for the volunteers that in the same group, then we will try to group them together so that we can have like teacher planning discussions. So we sit together to discuss, okay, how are we going to plan our curriculums, etc. How are we going to plan to teaching? And especially we do have volunteers that has very rich experience in teaching, especially the ESL. So there are a lot of sharing can be happens on that during that group. So then we will teach, of course, like, I think we used to say, oh, we might teach in rotation, but right now our program is like a private program, like, each volunteer will be assigned by one student. So it's kind of like one-to-one program. So it might not be rotation happens, but sometimes if you are busy, you cannot catch up, then feel free to ask people from your other volunteers from your track to help as a substitute for occasionally. Yeah. On the other hand, we do below the line, we do have another pipeline, right? Where is that the pipeline for us to gather students? Right, we first have the ads preparations, and we encourage students to do a sign up. Then they try to give us the money, and then we are trying to do the fundraising. Then after the program finish or after a while, and then we will try to donate the whole program out to some other charities. Yeah. I will try to stop here and to see whether anyone has any questions, because it might have lots of information on lots of information so far. Especially anyone has questions on this process. Feel free to just unmute or raise up hands. Okay, let's move on. So what is our current status? So we already finished these two steps, which is the teachers, volunteer sign up and group by the class and level. What else? We also finished the ads preparation and then finished the student sign up. So then where we are now? Yes, we are right now in the stage of the teaching planning per group stage. And then in the next page, we will talk about what are we going to do. Any questions here? Okay, let's move on. So our so this is the situation as we already finished the enrolling process. Okay, so since we finished the enrolling process, so then let's see how are we now. So we already have enrolled 70 volunteers in this program. We already have 43 Chinese students sign up from China. And we have 22 United States students sign up from here. So yeah, so this is our output of the enrolling. I just want to call out that like our sign up, like our volunteer enrolling and students enrolling, sign up, these are not like one step. These are continuous happening. So we are still going to like have our poster distributed, and then we are have our sign up form still open. So it's a rolling process. So we will keep having new volunteers come in, and after a while, when some volunteers out, we will have students in and out. So the entire enrolling process is entire process are rolling. Yeah. So these are based on the sign up from all our volunteers. Actually, I'm so glad that to see that we have so many talented student volunteers, so that we are able to offer so many enriched classes to the students. So so if you want to see the more detail, we have a web pages I will show later. Visit our website, and then we have very detailed information. Yeah. Okay, by the way, I keep seeing people are pinning me for the questions, and then I will try to answer later. Yeah. So so let's move on. So based on the sign up we get so far, we find out, okay, so basically majority are the ESL programs. Majority are ESL programs. And for the 22 United States students sign up, then most of them, these are the 3 tracks that most of them are interested in, which is one is a homework tutoring program. So another is a drawing. Lots of kids are interested in learning drawing, and also writing. Almost half of the students, they want to improve their writing. Yeah. So then we decided, okay, because for each student, so then we decided, say, okay, although we are able to offer so many different lessons, but then let's take the 4 program focus on these 3 tracks, on this like 4 tracks. So let's have a group discussion on that. But then people will ask, okay, what if I sign up for some piano class, but then can I still offer piano class? Yeah, that is totally fine. But we might not focus too much to have if we find the student, and then that student and if you and the student pair together, and you like to teach to learn, you like to teach him, and then it's totally fine to teach him in piano or in the courses you would like. But then we might don't have this kind of like track level discussion, etc. As long as you can handle the class by yourself, it's totally fine to run it independently. And then we still count, in this program, and then in this program, and then there's also benefit for that, because if you start on that, and you might gain some experience on that, and then you will be able to like share some experience to us, and then in the future, as more students sign up, then at that time you can share your experience and lead other volunteers and help them, mentor them, and help them to grow up. Yeah, then the piano, let's say the piano track will have more curriculums, and then we'll have the track level discussions, and you will be responsible to join in that. Yeah. Some people there's a volunteers asking, can we still change our course choices? I think so. Yes, you can. So we will share the pair discussion sheet in very shortly. So then after that, if you have any questions, feel free to comment on the sheet, and then let us know to see what we can change. Yeah. And another question is that, how long is a fall tutoring program? That's a good question. So actually, we call this a fall tutoring program. Actually, it's definitely not only fall tutoring, because this is actually running around a year. So we won't finish. it's kind of just like a hiring, like enrolling, right? It's kind of like a rolling process. So which means that as long as you want to teach, let's say I want to teach for a long time, keep doing this, right? We will keep accumulating your volunteer hours, right? And then it's one day, let's say if the students doesn't want to leave, and then we have other students available, we will repair you. And as long as you would like to keep contributing, and then feel free to stay here, and you can feel free to switch your track. Switch your track. Let's say, now I'm interested in home tutor. Later on, I would like to help some writing. As long as the students, like have clear communication with the students, and then we can find some substitute volunteer for the students, it's totally fine to switch. Yeah. So which actually means that this actually is not a fall program. We call this fall program because our first program is called summer program, because in summer there are more kids have more time. Then we call that summer program. Then we just named it the fall program. But honestly, it has nothing to do with the fall season. Yeah. Okay, so I will hold some questions to the end, but I promise I will answer all the questions in the chat. Yeah. So if you have any questions, keep asking in the chat. Or yeah. So this is our ESL. Our ESL, we have a very good experience on running the ESL in this summer. And our ESL levels, we have 3 levels. We have the beginner, intermediate, and advanced, right? That suits for different ages of students. But of course, it's not like always. It depends. Some it's actually this is a rough estimate, but the exact level actually depends on the students' English level, because some students from China, maybe they are still young, but their English level are pretty good, especially speaking English. Yeah, but normally the high school students, they would like to improve their TOEFL speaking skills. So we do prepare some TOEFL topics or speech and debate topics, and then we can just talk with each other and to improve them. Yeah. And so basically the beginner is mainly for the kids that doesn't have too much choice, with very junior English level. So the teaching format is normally like we read the books together with them, and then we read together. We read and they read, and then we discuss with the content with them. Then intermediate has more styles. Sometimes we included reading, writing. We include like reading the magazines, or we could reading some more advanced books together. Then we discuss the insights of books, or summarize the book content, etc. Or we can have the writing, and then you can ask the students to we prepare some writing topics, and you can ask the students to do the writing as a homework. And next next lesson, then you can maybe spend 20 minutes for them to help them to polish their writing, and then explain why. Yeah, things like that. So this is our program overview. So so initially we will have a preparation time period, and then we will have a training period. Then after that, it is long teaching period. Yeah. So in the preparation period, then we will have the curriculum planning, coach training, because some volunteers, I know they're worried about, oh, I don't have such experience, right? But I need to teach someone. I'm so nervous, right? So what can I do to improve my teaching skills, right? Then we have the coach training for you. And then at this period, then we also have the this has a matching. We are matching each volunteer with the students, and then and we also need to meet them soon. So in the training phases, we have curriculum preparation, which is basically the group teaching group discussions, and this is mainly for the non-ESL track. Because the non-ESL track, we just beginning, so we have more, we need more time to prepare. But ESL track, after training, we can just quickly kick off. And then it is also the time to meet with the students. But of course, like during the teaching period time, right? Like all the volunteers are encouraged to, to improve our curriculums and to give more suggestions. I know what I learned from the summer program is that we have lots of very intelligent volunteers and very intelligent, like very passionate parents. So you guys are super smart and awesome, and you are able to, have lots of very good ideas, and then and also inspire each others and have very good advices. So we are very welcome for any suggestions to either the process or curriculum. Yeah. So after that is the teaching period, right? So we have teaching, we kick off the teaching with the kids, right? The students, and we periodically collect some feedback from them. We collect the fundraise, and then we donate out. And then after a while, we are also going to have some events, like we could have org level status and progress updates. And sometimes we will have the optional, like in-person organizing bonding events. Let's say, like we find some in-person bonding, in-person volunteering events, or we would like to, go hiking together, just try to know each other, not only just from the Zoom, right? But also we could know each other and become friends in the reality, right? So, but again, these events are optional, yeah. So of course, we in each track, we will also kind of like have regularly track level meetings. Yeah. So during this period, then our volunteering time count started in the very beginning. It actually started from now. And to the time, and we keep, accumulating all the volunteering time. And then in our organizations, then every end of the May of every year, we will just count the accumulated volunteer hours from everyone, and then to see, then we decide, okay, should we apply the Presidential Service Volunteer Award for everyone? Yeah. I mean, if it meets the criteria, of course. Yeah. So there are a lot of benefits for the volunteers for attend, right? Like you would like to help us and see what we can help you, right? So I think, although we actually, there are a lot of things we can learn from these volunteering programs. Like we could inspire volunteers and contribute to the society, right? And then during this program, and then you can develop your leadership and communication skills, and you can learn a lot of things, not only the teaching. You can learn a lot of things other than besides the teaching, like how to initiate the program, how to drive or execute a program. And we can also learn a lot just even from the feedback from our students, right? And of course, with big volunteering families, we can learn how to work as a team, collaboration skills, and then we can make friends, right? Because all our volunteers are from Bay Area, so actually we are pretty close very close, yeah. Then we can gain a sense of accomplishment during the process. Of course, getting the PVSA is actually a byproduct, I will say. The most important thing is to, you improve a lot and you have fun and you make friends. I think that is the most important things. And of course, get an award. It is better than nothing, right? So we also have the expectation from our parents. As you know, like, our volunteers are mainly the middle school and high school students, especially, then we do, especially for the middle school students, we do still need the guidance from the parents to ensure our volunteering work running as well. Of course, I think the most important thing is like, making this running well, and then we also ensure that our volunteers can learn a lot, can improve a lot from this program. Yeah.
Not for parents, huh?
Okay, so okay, so we hope the parents to attend the core meetings and reading notes. So by the way, I know everyone are busy, and then we try to make the meeting very productive. So we try to have the meeting only if needed, and we will record every meeting if you miss one, so that so that you won't lose any context. So we'll try to make it productive. If a meeting is not needed, we try to share. We try to avoid meeting as much as possible. And then some meetings are optional, but core meetings, then we highly encourage people to attend, because that contain very important information. And then otherwise, we will also distribute the information via a lot of documents, right? For example, some process, some guidelines. If possible, we will try to share through documents. Yeah. And then we hope the parents to monitor and assist the volunteers on completing the assigned tasks. And also, the most important thing is that I hope let's try to let a volunteer drive the whole work, and then we maybe take a step away, and then but we should closely monitor and provide a guidance as needed. But I highly encourage discourage parents, do not try to do the work for the volunteers, because to have volunteer to gain experience, to improve from the program, that's a very important thing. Yeah. Some people are volunteer asking, can we send the slides afterwards? Yes, the slides will always be shared after meeting. Both slides and the meeting recording will be shared. Yeah. So this is action items. So what is next? So first, we will as you can see, we are we already have a lot of students, but we can still recruit more students. So if you have any Chinese or United States US students that interested, and please help us to distribute the posters. Honestly, in the past, because it will help to help find out your distribution. Your network is more than our network, so very appreciate if you can help to expand our ads networks. So secondly is that we will share the students. We already pair the students and with volunteers. Again, there are some volunteers might not be paired right now at this moment, but we will definitely, because it's a rolling process. So sooner it will be paired. Yeah. So we will share this matching sheet to everyone after, I think, either at end of day today, we will share the sheets. And then please take a look at the track that you are in, and then take a look at assigned students. If you have any comments, and please any concerns or questions, please comment. Please comment on the sheet. The sheet will be commentable to everyone. Please comment on the sheet, or raise up questions in the Discord or the WeChat. So yeah. Then again, after that, we will set up our the own volunteer time, and also you need to set up your own volunteer time tracker, which means that you are responsible to set up your volunteer tracker and to record all the volunteer time you hear. And then we need the breakdown. We need to for every hour or half hour, we need that to be itemized. We need to clearly document, okay, what is this time for? Because we need this. This is required by the PSBA organization. Then because we need to have a very detailed auditing of the volunteer time. Yeah, as we apply, because we need this information to apply for the PSBA, and they might come here and then check our database to see whether we are doing our work. Yeah, so every volunteer, you are responsible to set up your volunteer time tracker. We will later share the details on how to do that. It's basically, we will share documents, and then you need to copy that documents, fill your name, and name the documents as your name. and then put it in a folder, and then share to us. Then because we would like to keep the privacy of every volunteer's time, so that your volunteer time are only accessible by me, by our organizer, and by yourself. So no one else will be able to see your volunteer time. Yeah. What's next? So in the future, we are going to have a coach guideline and trainings coming later. And then we are also going to, with students pair being assigned, you're expected to have a first meet with your students. That first meet is mainly to know each other. It's not like official teaching. Know each other and know the what do we expect, what the students expect, and what the students expect, and how the lessons is going to set up. So don't worry, we will share the documents and to guide how you are going to meet with your what are you going to talk with the students. And we also going to have track level meetings to discuss either we train the volunteers on how to do the teaching, or we are going to have the track level discussion meetings and to discuss, okay, how do we plan to do the teaching? That is only for the 3 new tracks in the United States here. So here is the question and answer. Let me. So please, let me first finish the questions, open questions in the chat. Then everyone just feel free to raise your hands, and then I will answer here. So this is a very interactive section. So there's one volunteer is asking, are we allowed to use this hour towards applying for the other awards outside of the organizations? If you can sign these hours. Yes, it is. We are allowed. We actually already have that process sign up. Yes, just yeah. And okay, so how long is the fall tutoring program? We already answered, right? This is rolling process. So can we still change our course choices? Yes, yes, you are. So then, we just need to comment on the final matching sheet we share to each other. So our slides will be shared afterwards. So question here. Oh, okay. Where can we change our course choices? Yes, we will share the matching sheet later, and then the matching sheet. Then feel free to comment on the matching sheet. Yeah, or comment on the matching sheet is a most like a preferred way, or you can like ask questions in the general channel, or in the Discord or the WeChat group. So who is responsible for the curriculum for the volunteers to teach? Does the students request from volunteer does the student request from the volunteer what to teach? Okay, that's a good question. So so let's take one ESL program as an example. So in the ESL program, we do have a library with lots of curriculum for different level of the ESL, and then we have this library, and then this library some are prepared by us, and actually there are a lot of quite some content is also provided by our volunteers. In the past, we do have some volunteers, they realize that they would like to make their own curriculum. They help us to improve our curriculum libraries. But and also some people just find very nice books or nice new media resources and just put it in. Yeah, so as we are teaching, our curriculum library are become more and more. Yeah. So does the student request from the volunteer what to teach? Actually, we are, when we have all the in the sign up, student sign up form, we do ask students what they expected, especially for the ESL program. Almost all the feedback is saying, oh, we don't expect to formally, officially or seriously learn any English in this volunteer program. Most of them, almost like 95% of them, just would like to improve their speaking in languages. And they will also try to just to exchange, to learn the culture from United States, right? How, let's say, how our students think, right? How Chinese and United States students think one thing differently, right? The thinking process, the cultural difference, they would like to learn from that, besides in pure speaking English. There are some kids, some students, they would like to improve their writings, but none of them expect to officially or seriously learn English from any like English textbook, because they are able to, they learn a lot from the school already. Yeah. Okay, so another last question here before we switch to the interactive session, interactive question ask. So there's a question: if someone choose 2 classes, example writing and ESL, and do they have to choose only one to dedicate their time to, or how can we do, or can they do both? Okay, great question. So actually they can, so right now when we do the matching, we only match student from match the one volunteer only to one students in one track. Okay, but we do know there are some volunteers who would like to contribute more. So it's very simple. You just need to, since everyone are joining the Discord, right? So very simple. If you are assigned, if you think you are, after you are assigned with a student, if you think you are full, just add a star on the end of the, just add a star on the end of your name alias. So we will know, okay, my bandwidth is full, I'm not available to taking more students. So if you release, if some, or if later on you have more bandwidth, feel free to remove that star. So it's very clear, right? Like, because every time we're looking for it, we were looking for assigning new students to you, we will first check your alias to see whether you have bandwidth or not. So Rania has a questions, say, can we change a person we are matched with? Yes, so right now is the timing, great timing, because we haven't started, right? So first, right now is a great time. So, but during the process, then I will say, we do have because the ESL students, they paid the tuition for us. So every 10 courses, then we encourage it to, like, if you want to switch, change students, and then let's try to do that at end of that 10 course session finish. Don't try to change during the middle of the session. And then also tell us in advance, so that we can try to find the volunteer for you in the next session. But a few days earlier is fine. But it's very important to only change during the middle of this, during the end of the session. Yeah. Okay, so there's Chen Wei Li is asking, oh, by the way, hey, everyone, feel free to raise your hands and ask questions interactively instead of always typing in the chat. And also, if you try to type in the chat, like, feel free to ping everyone so that everyone can see your questions. Right now, I have to like speak up all the questions. Yeah, because other people cannot see it. So there's a question about, what about lesson time setup? When do lessons usually happen given the time difference? Okay. So the lesson time setup, so in the summer it is pretty flexible, right? So right now, so the lesson time and lesson frequency is all about the convenience, all determined by the students and the volunteer yourself, you too. Okay, so feel free, you need to, in the first meeting with them, you need to talk with them about this kind of what is a convenient time for both of us. And then for the ESL program, given the time difference, so I would say most likely it's going to be happening in the weekend, right? So most likely going to be happening in the weekend. But again, like in what day, and feel free to chat with the students and find an appropriate time for you. So the time, so again, the lesson time and lesson frequency is all flexible and determined by you, by the students and volunteer together. And then all we require is that, the more the lesson you teach, right, then the faster you accumulate the volunteer hours. But then but the only requirement is that they have to pay the, every 10 lesson, 10 class is a session. So then after a session finished, we need them to pay the tuition again. Yeah. So to start a new session. So how much do ESL students pay to have lessons? So they pay for every 10 lessons, they pay 400 yuan. So it is not much, honestly. We do see, and a lot of ESL students, they are very motivated, very passionate to learn take this kind of private class to improve their lessons. So I would say try your best, but don't feel very nervous, because I can give a reference. In China, because our prices are definitely not expensive, because we are not trying to make the money, right? We are trying to make everyone to benefit from each other's, right? So they also know that the money. So by the way, the money is not paid to us directly. All the ESL students, they pay the tuition. They directly pay to the Chinese charity program. So they also know that we have the whole flyer sent to him, so they will know we as a volunteer didn't get paid at all. So they are helping with China charities. So just to give you a reference, in China, in Xindongfang, right? So right now their TOEFL speaking English, their price is 1 hour every 700 yuan. We are like for 40 yuan. We are it's not comparable. Of course, we are volunteers, so I would say don't feel very pressured for that. It's definitely not a. It's very, very, very cheap price, and then they also know that we didn't get paid. They are helping with the charity. Yeah. So another question: are there any math class requests? There are some math class requests. So again, I will share to the sheets to you later. So there are some math class requests. Not many, because overall, so far the United States, we didn't get too much. We only have 22 United students request sign-ups. So we do have the either the homework tutoring math, or we also have some students ask for the MC10 or MC8 tutoring. Yeah, so if any volunteers are good at it, feel free to take that. Yeah. Another question, is there a time requirement per session? Yeah. So per lesson, yeah. So per lesson, it is around 40 minutes to 1 hour. So it depends on the age of the students, or actually it's totally depends on age of students. And then also depends on, how, agreement between the students and the teacher, right? But it's that, the one lesson definitely not go over 1 hour. It's not, benefit. Everyone will be tired, right? But it could range from 40 minutes to 1 hour. Okay, so do United States require to donate? Right now, as we just started, so we are not asking them to donate. But because we need we want to kick off and then try to building our program better, and then after that we will we have not decided either to require to donate or we will encourage them to donate, but it's going to happen later, but not this. So so right now the in this, at least by before the Christmas, our United students are not required to donate. Yeah. So just to give you a reference, so in last summer, we are not required the ESL. This summer we have the, in our last program, it is also our first time to kick off the ESL program. And then at that time, we also encourage people to donate, and but then, yeah, but we get we build a lot of experience there, and then we also get tons of the good feedbacks from the Chinese students. So right now from now on, we are require the Chinese ESL students to donate. And then even with that, we still receive tons of the sign-ups from them. Yes. So if any people, volunteers are interested in doing the ESL, I also think we can, for sure, we can find out the matching student very shortly. Yeah. So, okay. So any curriculum for joint class, are these classes virtual? So we are, for the joint classes, we are having a joint class track. So in 1 week, we are going to have meeting with the joint classes. We will prepare some joint class curriculums, and then we will have the meeting with our joint volunteers in joint track and try to brainstorm more curriculums as a base curriculum. With the base curriculum, we try to get review and also collect more ideas, and then to make our curriculum better. Yeah. So so before we start teaching the joint class, we definitely going to have the curriculum. Yeah. So again, we are doing this for the ESL program as well, which is running pretty success. Or you know what? Based on our past feedbacks, actually the preparation time is the most fun time. Yeah. And of course, these are all counted for the volunteer time, right? You don't have to not only preparation time, even the meeting time are counted for the meeting you attend today, the 1 hour is also counted for volunteering time. So actually preparing curriculum and have brainstorming, it's a very fun process. Yeah. And also, are these classes virtual? Again, so it is still, most of classes are virtual, but it's not it is still up to you and the students. If you guys decide, okay, I would like to teach on-site in-personally, feel free to do so, right? In-person interaction definitely has better than virtual, but if you would like to keep it virtual, that's totally fine. So most of the classes now is virtual, but we also do have the students, volunteers sign up for the fall, which definitely cannot be virtual. Yeah. So again, the answer is that it is totally up to the agreements between the students and the volunteers. And statistically, most of the class will be virtual. Yeah. More questions. So you know what, Chen-Wei, do you want to, since you have lots of questions, do you want to just speak and then speak your questions here instead of I try to speak your questions every time?
Sure. Because we are very new here, when we signed up, when we turned in the form you sent out earlier, we were not sure, what to teach, anything. Can we do it now if we want to teach ESL students from China?
Yeah. So yes, it's yes. So you can change the track. Right now is you can change your choices. Right now is the best time to change your choices. Again, we will send the match table, and then please comment on the match table saying okay. So saying you can. So right now in the match table, every volunteer is in one line, one row. Then you can comment there and say, oh, I would like to teach ESL students, etc. Then we can switch now. So, but try to do it now. please do it now, because do it later will, you will have some troubles. Yeah. So, but again, when the teaching starts, right, then if you want to change track, then in the middle, when one session finish, it is a good time to switch. Yeah. Okay. There's no more questions in the chat. Any questions, and feel free to raise up your hands. And then no, I'm expecting more questions. Yeah. Okay, while I'm waiting for the questions, I would like to thanks people, especially we have, like lots of the, I know like fall seasons, right? Right now is a school year and people have less time, right? But I'm still very glad to see we have most of the summer volunteers who attend our summer programs will continue to stay with us, and then even given the busy school year, and then try to contribute to the society. So it is very good. I mean, I will say it's very appreciated. For the people who leave, I think totally understand, and for people who decide to stay, really appreciate. And then we definitely want to make this program to be a very meaningful program, and then really help and impact help people, and then not only other people, but also help with us. And we also do see that in the summer program that there's like great huge improvements or growth of our volunteers. I still remember the first day when the summer program kick off, like there are tons of questions because no one has teaching experience. But right now, like lots of no one has a teaching experience, right? Then like after summer, right? So like I do see lots of volunteers first become mature, become advanced, or become like much more experienced. And also I'm very surprised, like lots of volunteers have lots of good ideas, and then very many heuristic ideas, and help the program makes better. And we get lots of good feedbacks from the teachers, and then from students, and most of students also would like to stay, which is great. Yeah, which is very awesome. Again, so we have more questions coming. So Jen are saying, Jen, would you like to speak your questions instead of I pronounce it? I speak your questions. Jen Lo?
Yeah. Because my boy is attending the school field trip. He's out of the town. So I'm questioning if because at that moment we did not select the ESL. So if we want to add the ESL, and can we change later after he back from his field trip? This is my question.
Yes. So you definitely can. Again, because there are a lot of benefits for being a private class. Is that like we can, it's very flexible, right? Like flexible not only in the content but also the time and frequencies. So please, so I will add a note in the matching table, and please add a comment in the matching note, and then about the date, and then we will try to tweak that. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. So Irene, would you like to ask your question? Irene Fu?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to know how hours will be tracked. Is it 1 hour per lesson, or is it like a half an hour per lesson? And will these meeting hours be tracked as well?
Yeah. So basically, an hours will be tracked in first. The meeting will be tracked, and then the meeting will be tracked. Then the hours for all the teaching hours, it will be tracked as the teaching hours. And then if you need the if you need to prepare your teaching hours, then we will track like half of as much as half of your teaching time. Let's say if you teach 1 hour class, then you need some preparation time, but like we can track at most half an hour of the preparation time for that class. So no more than 50% if you need to prepare. And then the meeting hours, yes, tracked. And then actually we also have the work occasionally we have the work other than the teaching and the meeting. For example, sometimes we will ask people to say, okay, can you help us to prepare some guidelines, right? Or can you prepare to help us to prepare some, let's say, your thoughts, write some reports of the program, etc. So those will also be counted. For example, in the last summer, we do have multiple volunteers help us to set up the process. For example, writing the Vivo setup instructions, right? Writing the coach guidelines. So those are all counted. Yeah. Okay. So any more questions? Okay. Okay. That's great. Let's see. No more questions. That's it. So, but again, if you have any questions later, right, don't worry. Feel free to raise it up in the Discord or the WeChat group. And then, yeah, we can also always answer asynchronously. Again, we try to minimize the meeting, only have the meeting as needed, is when it's really needed. Yeah. And then every meeting we will have the recordings and we will share the slides. So if you don't attend, you will always be able to catch up. Yeah. And also most of the communications, a lot of communications can be done through the Discord and the WeChat. So again, I will highly encourage people to join the Discord and then and also either, join the Discord and then in the parents in the WeChat group. But the most of the main communications will be in the Discord. Why? Because we will have to hold it with a Discord is because we are right now our program become more complicated, so we have multiple tracks. Then we also have the volunteers, experienced volunteers to help us to run the tracks. So a lot of communications will be in a per track level. Then Discord has a hierarchy. So it's very easy to organize this information because we don't want to generate too much information and then make everyone to be annoying, right? And then we want to keep the information in the appropriate level. So let's say the people in the right track will see the track information, right? And we also have in the Discord, we also have an announcement track. We have a general track, right? We even sometimes when we run a one-time event, in the event track, we can also have that. So it's in Discord, it's also very easy to set up the, it's very easy to have the two volunteers to set up their own meetings. So it's very convenient there. So as we become more complicated now, then we have Discord is the right communication media that we use. But again, in the WeChat, WeChat is mainly for the parents, right? So for the org level updates, right? Important updates, let's say volunteer uptime, right? We will keep publishing in the org level. And then we will, let's say for the matching sheet, we will still also shared in the WeChat. Yeah, but let's say, but since let's say as a track lead, talk to a track volunteer saying, oh, are you able to take this, volunteer, take this students, etc. Those kind of communications will happen between the volunteers. Then in the Discord, it's no longer in the WeChat. But however, we will keep the matching table up to date. So you can always be able to track, to check the matching table to see what is your current situation, what is your current assignment, etc. Yeah. I do hope that I answered all the questions well. And if you have any more questions, and feel free to raise up in the Discord and WeChat. And again, remember, I will share slides. Remember to take a look at this. This is the action items, and what's the next is the very most critical for us to understand, to be aware at this moment. Yeah. Okay, so this is the last page of the slides, and I would like to thank everyone and to sign up this volunteering program, and then let's have fun together, and then let's have the contributing together. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, and also like our website has lots of information, and feel free to take a look at it, and then you might have a lot of answers, question answered, and then we also have the emails. But yeah, we also have our own media channels, and so we occasionally, as a program running, we very welcome people to help to writing some reports of the program, or if you have some thinking or some thoughts or insights of the program, feel free to help to provide it. We do in the past, we do have volunteers writing those for us, and then we put it on the website. So again, if you have time, please go to our website and take a look at what we are having today. You will have a better understanding. And again, the last, thanks everyone for joining, and really appreciate it, and then let's have fun together. Yeah, thank you so much, and see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you, bye-bye.